want to give thanks to God for your presence today. What a joy it is. This is an historic moment. The first time we have gathered together in a formal way for what will become a new conference. Isn't that awesome? And you're here part of it. I want to give thanks to you, each of you, who's given up your day to be here. You are leaders of your respective conferences, and you come with special gifts. The challenge today for all of us is to dare to do what God is calling us to do, isn't it? And so I especially want to challenge you to be ready for God's surprises today as we come to know each other. I want to challenge you to be ready to meet God's challenges as they emerge today and in the days and months and years to come. And most of all, I want to challenge you to be attentive to God's Spirit, which is always promised in our midst. And surely it is here with us as we gather. We're wearing the color of the Spirit, right? Red, the color of the Spirit. On that Pentecost day, the Spirit came down. And might it be so today that the Spirit comes down. I want to thank you again, those of you who've made the choice to be here, for your willingness to enter into this new thing that God is doing. I want to thank the Vision team. Haven't they done a wonderful job preparing us for this day? That team has been meeting for, what, a year and a half or so, would you say? About only 1 year? Hey, you've done a lot in a year. The documents that you see, they've prepared the careful attentiveness to laying the biblical foundation for what we're doing. Because it's that upon which we're going to build. As we get into the decisions that have to be made, if we can be reminded always of that foundation, we will be carried through this on the wings of prayer, surely. And remember, too, to keep the main thing the main thing. We are about disciple making. And let us not be swayed as we go through this process into little pockets of concern that are apart from disciple making. Keeping always before us the main question, what is God's yearning for us? What does God require of us? And so thanks to all of you who are here, thanks to the Vision team. And then there's another particular person that I want to give thanks to and praise to God for bringing her into our midst for such a time as this. The one bishop in all of this reconfiguration that we're going through involving 6 conferences, who's connected to every single one, who's at the nexus of all of it, is Bishop Susan Hassinger. She has truly, I believe, been placed in our midst for such a time as this. She brings to this enterprise incredible spiritual depth, knowledge of systems, a passion for inclusiveness in every possible way, and great gifts of discernment. And so would you welcome Bishop Susan Hassinger?
Thank you, Bishop Middleton. I greet you this morning as part of the emerging Susquehanna Annual Conference. How does that sound? I won't tell you how many years ago now, actually it's more than 40, that I was ordained in a prior Susquehanna conference. And by other shifting conference lines, ended up in eastern Pennsylvania, now have the privilege of serving beautiful Wyoming Annual Conference and participating in this work that I believe that God is doing. So as I greet you this morning with that history in my background. I greet you in the name of the God who created and formed us and who is doing a new thing in our midst. In the name of the Christ who has called us to be faithful disciples, to follow on the journey, knowing that that Christ is by our side. In the name of the Spirit who encourages, counsels, and empowers us for each step of this journey. It is that triune God who is with us as we do this work. Bishop Middleton actually said much of what I would say to you, so I'm just going to let it stand with that and say how thrilled I am to be part of this process. As she indicated, I get to, actually, as I was working with several people in the last couple of weeks, I've identified that I see my role in this as midwife. Watching the birthing process, coaching through the labor pains, and knowing that as the birthing is occurring, I will move out of the way. So I'm delighted to be here in this part of the birthing process this morning. And thanks be to God for your presence and your participation in that.